Department Directive number 852101, January 13, 2006, incorporating change to effective order October 15, 2018, subject DOD Biometrics reference enclosure 1, per the Directive, reissue the DO Directive 852101E2, reference A, that established policy assignment responsible to the DoD Biometrics, designated under Secretary of Defense Acquisition Technology Logistics and the Biometric Principal of Staff, the systems responsible oversight of the DoD Biometrics activity and policy, designates Secretary of the Army, the DoD Executive Agents for the Biometrics in accordance with the Public Law 106246, Department of Defense Directive 51011, reference C, applicable the description of the Secretary of Defense Military Department's Office, Chairman, Chief of Staff, Joint Staff Combat Commander's Office, and Inspector General of the Department of Defense, with the Defense Agency with the DoD field activities to all of the organization on need with the DoD, for the collective with the directive with the DoD components, does not apply with physical evidence with the others and biometrical material collected either pursuant with the Criminal Investigation Directive with the Director of the DoD Instruction 550514, reference D, policy with the DoD policy, DoD Biometric Enterprise provide critical end-to-end capability through the defined operations intelligence cycle with the support of the tactical operation decision-making across the real range of the military operation with the DoD warfighting intelligence, law enforcement, security, force protection, homeland defense, counterterrorism, business information, environment, mission area of the relative of the directive of the DoD mission areas, DoD biometric program designed to improve the effectiveness, the sensitivity, identify with the activity, with the eliminate unwarranted duplication of the technology development, the information management efforts with the biometric collections encouraged during all military operation, military intelligence activity legal as appropriate. Maintenance collection, use of the dissemination biometric data, which include the transmission, storage, caching, tagging, analyst production, of the use of the biometric data added to here to the applicable laws, policies, scheme of the protocol, with include but not limited to the Department of Defense Directive 5400 or 11, reference E for the support of the data sharing and interoperability of the DoD Biometric Intelligence Enterprise of the integrated with the interoperable through use of identifying intelligence capabilities, including biometric enabled intelligence for the full extent of the possible to enable the DoD mission partners operation. Biometric biographic behavior of the context data of the contextual data collected with the maintained with the Department of Defense component result of the biometric enabled intelligence product with the DoD data protected from the unauthorized area release shared in accordance with the applicable data sharing disclosure policy with the appropriate authority of the arrangement with agreements with the foreign collected identity information that is shared with the Department of Defense would help with public disclosure to avoid the adverse effects of the release of the DoD's ability to obtain the same and similar information in the future of the DoD maintained with the authority biometric data repository to conduct the match, store, and share with the DoD mission areas of individuals whose biometric data was calculated with the national security related to the operation, including with the bulk collection of the interagency foreign partner repository. Individuals afflicted with their seeking affiliate with the Department of Defense biometric data obtained with a legitimate authorized DoD purpose in accordance with the applicable with the law regulation policy. Biometric biographical behavior, the contextual data collected with the maintained with the data maintained DoD component of the biometric BEE, biometric enabled intelligence. R2, unclassified, classified, lowest appropriate level consistent with the name of the criteria of the security classification, along with the applicable security with classification guidance for the support interagency of the international data accessibility. DoD developed and maintain with the continue with the operation of the disaster recovery plans for the virtual with biometric capabilities. DoD making available to you with the other use of the government agency all of the biometric associated with the biographical context of the data collected during the course of the military operation support with the national security screening, fitting activity with the full extent of the permitted by law with the DoD comply with the national security president directive of the 59 Homeland Security with the presidential directive of the 24 of the reference F of the biometric identification screening within the hand of the national security action plan reference G, responsibility and scheme with enclosure 2 of the information collection will cover the DoD biometric enterprise with the result referred of the paragraph 11 G with the enclosure 2 does not require the licensing with the report of the control symbol with the paragraph 1B 16 with volume 1 DoD manual with 891001 reference H. Release clearly public release of the directive that is enabled of the directive of the division of the ESD with the White House Miles Dive Department of Defense summary change with the resign with the official of the primary responsibility for the directive of the Undersecretary of Defense for the Research Engineering in accordance with July 13, 2008, the Deputy Secretary of the Defense Memorandum reference I. Effective date, the directive effective January 13, 2016. Robert O. Worth, the Deputy Secretary of Defense, Enclosure 1, Reference 2, Responsibility. Reference the Department of Defense Biometrics, the DoD Directive 8521. 1E, Section 112, Emergency Supplemental Act of 2000, Division B, Public Law 106-246, July 13, 2000, Department Directive 5101, 1, Department Executive Agency, DO's oxide bionucleic acid collection requirements for criminal investigation, law enforcement, correction commanders. DOD Directive, DOD Privacy Program, National Security President Directive 59, Homeland Security for the Defense, Presidential Directive 24, Biometrics Identification Screening, Enhancing National Security. Office of Attorney General of the United States for the Biometric Identification Screening with the Enhanced National Security for the Action Plan. DOD Manual 8910-01, Volume 1, DOD Information Collection Procedure for the DOD Internal Information Collection, Deputy Secretary of the Defense Memorandum, Established Office of the Secretary of Defense Research Engineering, Office of the Under Secretary of the Defense Acquisition Statement, the Department of Defense Directive 5533 for the International Agreements, Title 10 United States Code, the Department Directive of the Defense Intelligence Agency, Defense Biometric Enabled Intelligence, Forensic Enabled Intelligence, DoD Personal Identification Program, Acquisition Information Concerning Persons, Organization not affiliated with the Department of Defense, United States Army with the DoD Capstone Concept of the Operation Employing Biometrics Military Operation Joint Intelligence Joint Publication 2.0 in current edition. Responsibilities. Undersecretary of Defense Acquisition Technology and Logistics, his or her capacity with the biometric of the PSA with the Undersecretary of Defense Acquisition Technology and Logistics over the Director of the DoD Biometric Enterprise with the DoD EA with biometric and with the reference chief with the faculty with the development and implementation policy with the DoD Biometrics, coordinated with the Undersecretary of Defense for the policy, Undersecretary of the Defense Intelligence with the DoD Executive EA for the biometrics, Superprimary with the DoD with the point of contact U.S. government agency with the international entity with the biometric related with the activity unless specified with the Department of directly with the Department of Defense applicable law, appoints official chair with the DoD Biometric Executive Committee, XCOM. Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Acquisition, Assistant Secretary of the Defense Acquisition Manager for the alignment compliance with the biometric related with the acquisition DoD biometric enterprise with the objective policies. Earned Secretary of Defense personnel develop, oversee the implementation policy with the DoD biometrics and coordinate with the Undersecretary of the Acquisition Technology and Undersecretary of Defense Intelligence, Department of Defense EA with the biometrics for the proof of the biometric sharing with arrangement of agreements to area with the authority of the Undersecretary of Defense personnel with the appropriately coordinate with the agreements for the arrangements and agreements for other U.S. government agencies within the international entity with the Department of Defense Directive 5533 with the reference J with the determines whether the foreign collected directly information is eligible for the exemption with the Section 130C with the Title 10 United States Code reference K with the coordination with the Undersecretary of Defense Intelligence. Undersecretary of Defense Intelligence and oversee with the DoD enabling BEI policy active with the program support identified with the active with the DoD mission of the DoD biometric enterprise. Establish standard criteria for the security classification of certain biometric data of the biometric related information requirement with the biometric PSA with the intelligence included with the BEI programs activities agreement with the biometric related authority and mission oversee with the integration of biometric BEI into the DoD intelligence counterintelligence defense security enterprise within coordinated with the directive of the national intelligence serve with the primary contact with the U.S. government agency international and on all BEI related activity directive of the intelligence agency with the authority direction control with the Undersecretary of Defense with the intelligence with the directive of the defense intelligence agency serve with the DoD intelligence lead with the biometric activity program that comes with the Department of Defense Directive 510521 with a reference L with the DoD Instruction 0330004 with a reference M with the facility with the directive of the BEI capability with the intelligence process support defined operation intelligence cycle for the coordination of the DoD intelligence component of the DoD EI with the biometrics done with the coordinated synchronized with the development and implementation of DoD biometric collection strategy with the DoD mission areas. Develop, maintain with the management share with the biometric bio-enabled watch list. Earn the Secretary of Defense with the personal readiness under the Secretary of the Defense personal readiness with biometric policy and pursue with his or her purview. Oversee with the maintain with the DoD authority biometric data repository match over the share with the functioning individuals effective with seeking with the affiliate with the DoD repository containing authority identity information and shield with identity credentials in accordance with the Department of Defense Instruction 1025 reference N. Under Secretary of Defense, Comptroller, Chief Financial Officer of the Department of Defense with the Undersecretary of Defense with the Comptroller, Chief Financial Officer of the Department of Defense maintain with the visibility biometric related funding. Deputy Chief Manager Officer of the Department of Defense and within his or her capacity with the DoD kept higher facility with the Civil Liberties Officer of the Deputy Chief of the Management Officer of the Department of Defense ensure the maintenance of the use of the collection and dissemination biometric information, the conduct of the according to reference E with the DoD biometric policy. Perceive it as also comply with the Department Directive 5227 in reference O. Directed all policy, civil liberties related to the maintenance and use of collection and dissemination of biometric data concern, coordinate with the Director, oversight with the compliance with the Defense Privacy, Civil Liberty Division, Officer of the Deputy of the Chief of the Management, Officer of the DoD component, heads except for the Chairman, Joint Chief of the Staff, the Chief of the DoD component, heads for the except for the Chairman, Joint Chief of the Staff, designate General with the flag, Officer of the Senior Executive Service with the equivalent individual service as member of the DoD Biometrics XCOM, notify with the coordinate with the biometrics of the BEI with the activities acquisition for the biometric PCSA, Assistant Secretary of Defense Acquisition, Under Secretary of Defense Intelligence, Department of Defense EEA, biometric of the Director of Defense Intelligence Agency Plan Program Budget of the field of the DoD component with the appropriate joint command biometric of the BEI capability international institutional training requirement of the support identified by the activities according with the reference gave of the Major Force Program 11 and all our authorities. The Chief of the DoD approved of the team of the protocol with the enterprise with the architects, Secretary of the Military Department of the Division of the Responsibility Section 9 with the enclosure, Secretary of the Military Department to ensure the possibility guidance exists, maintains oversight with the Department of Biometric BEI capability, Secretary of the Army, the Division of the Responsibility Section 9. 10 of the enclosure in his or her capacity for the DoD EA Biometric Secretary of the Army, appointed with the General Flag Officer, Senior Executive Service Official with the focal point with the DoD Biometric Enterprise with the Planning Program Budget, Service Resource, Execute Responsibility with the DoD EA with the Biometrics, according to the reference with the directives, the leading and accept with the common throw of the machine, the analyze with the sharing active with the DoD Biometric Enterprise with the biometric data collected with the part of the military operation required, DoD component biometric product system, the service with the applicable scheme with the protocol with the DoD Biometric authority with the enterprise with the reference architectural support with the operative lead requirements architectural scheme with the development of joint common interagency biometric capabilities, acquiring common biometric capabilities to support operational requirements of the Joint Force Commander, oversee with and maintain with the Department of Defense authorities authoritative biometric data repository with the master over the share function with the DoD mission with the areas with the individual biometric data with the collective as part of the over operation substitute reference with the and approval of the Deputy Chief of the Management Officer with the individual with affiliated with the seeking affiliated with the Department of Defense mentioned with the help of the performance of the DoD biometric and with the generator with the result of the biometric PSA with the DoD biometrics XCOM, exchange of the biometric data with the appropriate DoD interchange with the tape with the tribal local with the international partner with the corner with the applicable law with the regulation with the policy with the data sharing with the arrangement of the agreements, lead implementation with the Department of Defense military with the detain with the national security with the activity coordinator with the director with the defense with the agency, intelligence agency pursuing with the reference G with the activity DoD point of contact execution biometric related activity director assigned with the biometric PSA, directs execution conduct of the biometric related agreements through U.S. government agencies, international entity with notified with the biometric PSA with the Undersecretary of Personnel with the Undersecretary of Intelligence, need for the initiated modification, suspension, cancellation, and the approval appointed for the official of the serve of the co-chair of the DoD Biometrics XCOM with the joint chairman joint chief of the CAF coordinator with the coordinator of the coordinate monitor of the fulfillment of the validated with the joint requirement biometric BEI option with the official of the serve of the co-chair of the DoD Biometric XCOM with the combat commander with the addition of the response for the Section 9 closure combat commander with the identified with the biometric BEI capability policy gaps that inhibited the achievement of the proposal with the objective of the development of the issue of the guidance of the use of the biometrics BEI of the area of the responsible engaging mission partner with the employee with the biometric capabilities share with the biometric data support with the individual and identify with the activity coordinator with the Undersecretary of Defense and Undersecretary of Defense Intelligence Director of the Defense with the Intelligence Agency Chairman Joint Chief of the FDOE for biometrics. Abbreviations: BEI, Biometric Enabled Intelligence, Chairman, Joint Chief of the Staff of the Defense with Intelligence Aid, the Department of Defense Director with the Staff of the Agency, Executive Committee, Homeland Security of the Presidential Director of the President, Principal Staff of Assistance, Undersecretary of Defense Acquisition Technology Listing, Undersecretary of Defense Intelligence, Undersecretary of Defense and for Policy. Part 2, definitions, and then we move on to, that was the DoD Biometrics Direction, Department of Defense Directive 852101, 852101E.